Hello and welcome to Pages from the Past, Whispers from the Past, to help you sleep. Before we begin, get comfortable on your bed, your sofa, anywhere you like. Let your shoulders drop, unclench your jaw, and take one slow breath in and a soft breath out. Tonight, we're visiting daily life in ancient Roman baths and evening routines. You don't need to remember anything. If you fall asleep, that's perfect. I'll keep the story going quietly in the background. Now, let's open the page together. Picture the air tonight, warm and gently heavy, as if the day is still holding onto the stones of the city. In ancient Rome, the day is ending slowly, not with a sudden hush, but with a soft easing like fabric, settling after a long walk. And we step into a street where the light is turning honey-colored and the shadows lengthen without hurry. The paving stones beneath your feet are smooth in places, softened by time and countless steps. You feel the day's heat lifting from the ground, slowly, like a sigh. The air carries small traces of evening life. Olive oil from cooking, warm bread, the faint smokiness of a hearth. There are soft sounds, too. A door closes gently somewhere nearby. A distant voice drifts, then fades. A cartwheel creaks once, and then the street becomes quiet again. Above, the sky is turning from pale gold into muted blue-gray. The first lamps begin to glow, small clay flames set into wall brackets, or held in hands, or placed near doorways to guide the way. Tonight, we follow an ordinary Roman pattern, one that many people knew many nights a week, not a rare event, not a grand celebration. Just the gentle end of day, moving toward warmth, water, and rest, and ahead. The bathhouse waits its doorway calm, its light steady, its routine as familiar as breathing. We drift along the Roman street toward the thermae, where the city's evening rhythm becomes slower and softer. Explanation simple, 3 to 6 lines. Many Romans visited public baths as part of regular daily life. The bathhouse was a place for warmth, washing, and rest. It could also be a social place where neighbors exchanged small talk. Evening visits were common after work and errands were done. The routine helped the body and mind transition into night. Gentle scene detail longer, story-like. Picture yourself walking at an unhurried pace. You are not late. You are not rushing. You simply follow the gentle pull of habit. On one side of the street, a shopkeeper adjusts a cloth over a basket, finishing for the day. On another, a doorway opens briefly and lets out a warm rectangle of light, then closes again. You pass walls that hold the day's warmth. You pass corners where voices gather softly, then disperse. A child runs a few steps, then slows, guided by an adult's calm hand. And if you look closely, the city is full of quiet signals that evening has arrived. The busy movements of midday are gone. The sharp sunlight has faded. People's faces look softer in lamp glow, less defined, more gentle. Some Romans carry small bundles, perhaps a towel, perhaps oil, perhaps nothing at all. They know the bathhouse will provide what is needed, or they have a familiar attendant who will help. You notice the sound of your own footsteps now, not loud, just present, a steady tap against stone. In the distance, you see the bathhouse entrance stone steps worn smooth, a wide doorway, and a warm lamp set near it. The lamp doesn't flare or flicker dramatically. It burns with a stable patience, as if it has done this job every night and expects to do it again. The bathhouse feels like a threshold. Outside the open street, the remaining tasks of day. Inside, warmth, water, quiet repetition. As you approach, the air seems to change, slightly more humid, faintly scented with oil and steam. And your shoulders drop, almost without you noticing, because your body understands what comes next. And now, we slow down again and let the scene breathe. If this channel helps you rest, you can gently subscribe, so these calm history nights find you again. We step through the bathhouse doorway, leaving the open street behind as the sound becomes rounder and calmer. Roman bathhouses were organized spaces with a familiar flow. People entered, moved toward changing areas, then toward warmer rooms. Attendants helped keep things running, guiding, cleaning, carrying water, managing towels. The bathhouse was public, but it still had an unspoken calm order. It was designed for comfort and routine. Gentle scene, detail longer, story-like. Inside, you notice the first difference. The air feels wrapped. The walls hold warmth. Even the echoes sound softer. There is a gentle hum of voices, never one voice dominating for long. A few words here, a laugh there. Then everything blends into a calm background, like the sound of a distant fountain. A bath attendant moves past with a practiced ease. They hold a folded cloth. They glance toward someone who looks unsure, then give a small nod toward the correct direction. The bathhouse does not demand attention. It offers it quietly. You might see a simple bench near the entrance where someone adjusts sandals. A small shelf holding clay lamps. A shallow basin where water is used in small ways, rinsing hands, touching the face, preparing for deeper washing. And behind it all, you can imagine the unseen work. Fuel kept burning to warm water, floors maintained to prevent slipping, tools gathered and cleaned. But tonight, you don't need to think about systems. You only need to feel what the bathhouse is built to give. A slow transition from day into night. You pass a wall where steam has left a faint dampness, making the stone look darker and softer. You breathe in and feel the warmth rise into your chest, not hot, not sharp, just comforting. Here, the world feels smaller in a good way, contained. Manageable.com. And now we slow down again and let the scene breathe. We arrive in the apodidium, where tunics are folded, belts are loosened, and the body begins to feel lighter. The apodidium was a changing room where bathers left their clothes. Some used shelves or niches, Sometimes attendants helped watch belongings. People brought simple items, sandals, towels, small oil flasks. Conversation here was often easy and familiar. This step marked the true beginning of rest. The changing room holds a special kind of calm. It is not silent, but the noise is gentle fabric moving, feet shifting, soft voices. You watch someone unfasten a belt and fold it neatly. Another person lifts their tunic over their head, then shakes it once to smooth it, as if smoothing away the day itself. A shelf holds small personal items, maybe a ring, a small pouch, a comb. Clay oil flasks sit like small rounded stones, waiting. An attendant passes by and places a towel down, rougher than modern softness, but warm from the air. The towel carries a simple, clean scent, not perfumed, just neutral. There's small talk drifting between people, a remark about the temperature, a question about family, a comment about work done earlier. Nothing urgent, nothing sharp. And in those small conversations, you can hear something soothing, life continuing in ordinary ways. No drama required, just the steady movement of days. You might imagine a person who has come here many times. They move confidently, placing clothing down, choosing a spot, stepping forward. They don't need instructions. The routine is part of them. You might also imagine someone newer, glancing around, learning by watching, and without being corrected harshly, they simply fall into the flow, because the bathhouse teaches by rhythm, not by force. The room itself feels warm but not steamy. It is a place between outside and inside, between street and water, a gentle hallway for the mind. You take one slow breath. You feel the day slipping away, and now we slow down again and let the scene breathe. We move into the tepidarium, where gentle heat surrounds the body like a quiet blanket. Roman bathhouses often included rooms of different temperatures. The tepidarium was warm, designed for easing the body into relaxation. It helped muscles loosen and breathing slow down. People sat, rested, and prepared for hotter rooms. This was comfort without intensity. The warmth here is balanced. Not strong enough to shock you, just enough to soften you. Stone benches line the room, smooth from use. People sit with shoulders relaxed, arms resting loosely at their sides. Some close their eyes, some speak quietly, then fall into comfortable silence. You notice how the warmth changes sound. Voices don't travel sharply. They soften as if cushioned by air. Steam is faint. Here's just a hint, like a reminder of what lies deeper inside. A clay lamp glows in a niche, painting warm light on stone. If you touch the wall in your mind, you can feel the stored heat. The stone has remembered the day's warmth, and now offers it back gently. You can imagine someone stretching slowly, not as exercise, but as release. A shoulder rolling back, a neck tilting slightly, a long breath out. This is one of the bathhouse's quiet gifts. It teaches the body to slow down without being told. The tepidarium is a place of permission. permission to pause, permission to rest, permission to be quiet. And now we slow down again and let the scene breathe. We enter the caldarium, where steam gathers, warm water waits, and the evening becomes deeply unhurried. The caldarium was the hot room filled with humid warmth. Heat opened pores and relaxed muscles further. People rinsed, poured water, and warmed themselves. Bathhouses relied on workers and systems to heat water and rooms. To visitors, it felt like simple comfort. The first thing you notice is the air thicker, warmer, wrapped with steam. It touches your skin and makes you breathe slower. The edges of the room look softer. Steam blurs them gently, the way sleep blurs thoughts. You hear water in small ways, a dip of a bowl, a pour over shoulders, a soft splash that disappears quickly. A person sits near a basin and lets water flow over hands. Other leans back against warm stone eyes, half closed, face calm. The warmth loosens your body in places you didn't realize were tight. A jaw unclenches, a shoulder drops, a breath becomes deeper. In your mind, you can imagine the quiet industry behind this warmth. Somewhere below, heat moves through channels under the floor. Somewhere behind, water is being kept at temperature. Workers adjust fuel and flow. But here, in the room itself, all you feel is the result. Warm stone, gentle steam, calm, repetition. The caldarium does not demand your hurry. It asks you to linger. And now we slow down again and let the scene breathe. Now we settle into the oil and strigil ritual, where cleaning becomes a slow, careful rhythm. Romans often used olive oil to clean the body. Oil was rubbed onto skin, then removed using a strigula, curved scraping tool. This helped remove sweat, dust, and oil together. It could be done by an attendant or by oneself. When gentle, it felt soothing and orderly. Picture a small clay flask in the hand, warm from the room. A few drops of oil slide into the palm. The oil spreads across skin with slow, circular motion. Shoulders, arms, the back of the neck. It feels like smoothing away the day. Then the strigil curved, simple moves across the skin. Scrape, pause, wipe, scrape, pause, wipe. The sound is soft, not harsh. A quiet, working sound, like a cloth wiping a table or a broom sweeping stone. There is comfort in repetitive care. The mind begins to match the rhythm. Thoughts slow down. You can imagine an attendant performing the task with skill, careful pressure, practiced movement, no rush. Or you can imagine someone doing it for themselves, patient, steady, familiar. And when it's done, the skin feels light, clean, calm, as if the city's dust has been lifted away. And now, we slow down again and let the scene breathe. And when we finish tonight's page, I'll leave you a quiet next story to continue another gentle chapter from the past, made for sleep. We drift toward cooler spaces, where water reflects lamplight, and the bathhouse becomes quieter. Many Roman bath routines included cooling down, Cooler water helped the body settle after heat. Some dipped hands or feet. Some entered pools briefly. People often rested afterward on benches or in calmer rooms. Even the bathhouse noise softened as night deepened. The cooler air feels gentle against warmed skin, not cold, just settling. A pool lies still, dark, like polished stone. A lamp nearby paints a warm stripe across its surface. When someone steps in, the water ripples once, then smooths again. You hear fewer voices here. The conversations become shorter. People speak softly, then return to silence, comfortable and unforced. A bench creaks quietly as someone sits down. A towel is wrung out gently. A drop of water falls, and the sound is small and perfect. This is the bathhouse at its calmest, not the lively place of afternoon, but the evening versions, slower, quieter, softened. It's easy to imagine how a person might leave the baths feeling new, not new as in transformed, but new as in rested, clean, ready for home. And now we slow down again and let the scene breathe. We step out into the Roman night again and follow a quiet path home, guided by lamp glow and familiar streets. After bathing, many Romans returned home for dinner or a light meal. Evenings were shaped by darkness and lamplight. Homes might be apartments or houses, but routines were similar. Eat simply, tidy up, prepare for rest. Night encouraged quieter behavior. Sleep came earlier than in modern electric life. Outside the bathhouse, the air is cooler and the sky is deeper. The street is calmer, now still alive, but softened. You walk slowly. Your body holds warmth. Your mind feels lighter. A vendor offers bread, still warm enough to hold heat. You might smell olives, cheese, lentils, or fruit. Simple food, steady, ordinary, comforting. You pass doorways with lamps set near thresholds. Warm circles of light gather on stone, then fade into shadow between buildings. Inside a home, the lamp is small, but enough. It lights hands, bowls, faces. It does not brighten every corner. Some corners remain soft and dark, perfect for sleep. A simple meal is shared quiet talk, or no talk at all. Cloth is folded. A cup is rinsed. A room is prepared for sleep. And then, in the sleeping space, perhaps a bed, perhaps a pallet, there is stillness. A blanket, simple and heavy. A head resting, breathing slowing. Outside, the city continues in faint sounds. A distant footstep, a murmur, a fountain somewhere. But inside, the body knows the day has ended. Warmth has been found. Rest is allowed. Now we slow down again and let the scene breathe. And now we let the details fade softly into the dark. The lamps grow dim. The voices grow quiet. And the past becomes a gentle whisper again. Thank you for spending this calm night with me. Good night and sleep well.